Hello everybody, how are you? We're back again. I just finished a video on a really controversial subject. A lot of people asking me as I continue the series on Charlotte, North Carolina, they're saying, well, why is it the city of banks and why are there so many banks there? And I answered that question with the information I was able to gather from conversations I've had with a lot of people in the Charlotte area. And as a follow-on to that video, I thought we'd look at 5 banks that you really want to avoid because it's your money. So we're going to go through 5 of the worst banks in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, as usual, this is a parody channel. What you're about to hear is stuff I'm going to make up off the top of my head. But it should be interesting. It'll at least be entertaining to me. And frankly, that's good enough. It gets me through another day. So, for example, let's go through them. The number 1 of the worst banks in Charlotte, North Carolina is the Firebreak Bank. Now, why is this such a difficult bank to do business with? Well, when you go in, and I still like to go into the bank. I like to go up to the counter. I like to go up to the tellers. I like that personal touch. Now, a Firebreak, if you don't know, is typically found in the woods. And it's a dirt road or a path or some kind of separation of the vegetation so that if a fire were to break out, there would be a break, a line that hopefully it would not cross. It also gives fire crews access to the deep woods. But as we all know, especially in Southern California, we know that a raging fire will not respect a fire break. And just like that, this bank, they have a fire break between their tellers and the consumer. So it's like a 4-lane fire break. So in other words, you can talk to your teller, but you're like 50 feet away. And so you have to shout, I'd like to withdraw $300 from my account, please. And they're like, sir, I need a withdrawal slip. And you're thinking, wait a minute, I could go to the bank machine and have this done, no problem. I just came in to get some personal touch, and now I'm yelling across this wide space. I'm like, I don't know. There weren't any withdrawal slips in the counter there. So now she ties a rock to the withdrawal strip and throws it to you, and it bounces to your feet. This is just so you can withdraw cash, and all you wanted was that personal time. Guys, it's too much. I'm going to say a big no to the Firebreak Bank. Now, number 2 on our list is the Reclassified Bank. Now, the Reclassified Bank has several locations throughout the Charlotte, North Carolina area, which is handy. But the problem is when you go in to do a transaction, they try to reclassify it to then diminish your funds. So you say, yes, I'd like to deposit this cash. And they'll say something like, well, we can deposit that in your checking account if you'd like, Mr. Ditzel. However, we need to reclassify these funds as emergency funds. Therefore, it has a higher tax rate. And so, in other words, they have mastered the art of reclassification of transactions that ends up with a 10 to 15% higher deposit in their share. In other words, their cut, their fees are 10 to 15% higher than they would normally be because they've reclassified your deposit. Like, let's say you have a special account that you've set aside. Some people call it a Christmas account or the Christmas funds. And they throw money in there that, they will only use for their Christmas shopping. But they deposit it all year, so it's an easy way to keep track. And it's fun to build up that money and see it at the end of the year and buy their gifts. Well, at the Reclassified Bank, you're going to have 10 to 15% less money in your account because of their reclassification schemes. Guys, it's too much trouble for me. I'm going to say a big no to that one. Now, number 3 of the 5 worst banks in Charlotte, is the Pizzaz Bank. Now, Pizzaz is a great marketing name. I mean, even for a bank. Pizzaz. Okay, but the problem is they're too much pizzazz, too much sizzle, and barely any steak. So the outside of the place looks like a mansion from the 1800s. It's elegant, it's beautiful, right? And you go, this is a bank. I want to go into this bank. And you walk in, guys, and it looks like, if you have kids, it looks like your kid's room if they haven't cleaned it in 3 months. There's trash everywhere. You can't, I mean, there's not any really, I was expecting like marble teller stations. But what you have is a bunch of people falling asleep at these folding tables with folding chairs. It looks like if you had a bingo basement in your church, and the bingo was over, and there was bingo cards everywhere, and 3 people asleep at one of the tables because they're narcoleptic. Well, that's the inside of this bank, guys. It's just such a bait and switch. I'm going to have to say no to Pizzaz Bank. Now, number 4 on our list is the Viking Credit Union. Let's skip that one. That's a whole different story. That's a different video. All right, so the number 4 on our list is going to be the Vapid Bank. Now, Vapid, they are interesting because they don't, they're not selling you something, they're being honest about it. They're saying, we have no really clue what we're doing. But what's good about us is that we're charming and fun. So you might have met people like this in your life. They're charming and fun, but they have no clue how to get through a day. They don't know the basics of life. They can barely function. They don't know how to put gas in their car. They don't know how to order food. They don't know how to work a menu. They just somehow can't seem to function in the real world. Well, that's the way the staff is at Vapid Bank. But it depends what you want. Maybe this is on your top 5 list, but the thing is, they're very attractive people when you walk in. They're like models. And they're very charming. I mean, they'll have you in the palm of the hand, but then you try to get some money or do something functional with your bank account, they have no clue what they're doing. And you have to walk them through it. So maybe you want to be around those kind of people. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. So, guys, I'm going to have to say no to Vapid Bank. That's a big no. Maybe if I was rich and I just wanted to go hang around models all day at the bank, that'd be a different story. All right, and then the 5th one is the Insidious Bank. Now, Insidious, that's a kind of a cool name because they also have had some great campaigns. It's a day of hilarity at Insidious, right? They try to keep that upbeat, positive motif. But the problem with Insidious Bank is anytime that you try to get details about your money, they put up a wall. They put up a wall of obfuscation, meaning BS and baloney. So you say to them, look, I see that you've started a monthly $7 Insidious fee. What exactly is that? Why am I being tapped for $7 a month? And if you're talking to the teller, they push a button, and then where there was a glass partition, now a separator goes up like, and you can't see them at all, like a soundproof, visual proof barrier. And they don't even say why. And you try to text them, you try to email them, you can't get any service. Hey, great that you have these charming ad campaigns, and we all love a good ad campaign. But if I can't find out why you're tapping me for this unknown services, unknown fees, I mean, I can't get any help. Guys, I'm going to have to say a big no to Insidious Bank. I mean, look, I'm glad you have 47 locations in the city of Charlotte. There's one across the street. But $7 for an insularity fee? What the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? I can't take it. So, guys, that's a big no for me. And that's the list of 5 worst banks in Charlotte, man. I don't know. I try to be positive, but not in this case.